Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Riftbreaker. In the last episode, we looked at a featurette containing defensive structures like walls and some basic towers. These comprise the bare minimum we need, plus a little bit more, in order to survive the incoming hordes of enemies. But with just these towers, it may or may not be enough depending on what type of enemies are attacking, especially if they've got good range. In this episode, we're looking at more advanced towers. Right, we are looking at the mine layer tower. So for the mine layer tower, we've got the same range of 20 meter, but there's like 1 drone, 2 drone, and 3 drones. Like the energy is 4 per second. It lays mines, so if you were to enable it, you'll see them start to lay mines. Like the drones will fly out, and the drones themselves are the mines, I think. Is that it? I think so. Yeah, the drones themselves are the mines. Yeah, look at that. So they just plant themselves everywhere. And then you see all these little white dots on the field over here. Yeah, so it's all there. And let's talk about the design first. So okay, there's a radius there, so yeah, you know where it will plant the mines. All right. So in terms of the design, though, well, I guess they just dispense the drones. So it's just that they just dispense the drones. That's all. Like, what else are we to say? Like, yeah. So it's like barrels of drones. I don't know why it suddenly spun so quickly over there, but yeah. This is the only one that spun really quickly, right? The rest are fine. Only this one would spin very, very quickly whenever it's trying to release a drone. And they seem to space out far apart. Yeah, see that? Yeah. So the drones would just fly out and then whatnot. Nothing in particular, nothing noteworthy, nothing to complain about except for the mines. These dots on the floor when there's too many. Trypophobia. Trypophobia, the dots on the screen. So how do we get rid of these things? We can't really sell them, okay? We can't really, like, destroy them. You see? We can't really destroy them, so how do we get rid of them? By using this standard floor terrain. Just, like, build it. Like that, just cover the ground with this. Oh, and there. So you see the flashing is all gone. Then we use this. Yeah, and just clear everything. If you don't want the flooring, clear, and they're gone. Okay, so this is one way to remove the mines. Next, we look at the attack drone tower. These are just drones that attack. That's all. So 4 energy, 4 energy, 4 energy, 2 drones, 4 drones, and 6 drones, and the tower range is 40. I think this is more for, like, you know, just trying to, like, be more versatile, and maybe these can, like, deal with enemies that are behind obstacles and whatnot. So it'd be useful for these. I mean, the mines, you know, it's pretty straightforward. This can also deal with, like, enemies behind obstacles, I think. Because they can pass through obstacles, right? So there's that. This will be really useful. So there's like these are just like helipads, if anything, and they look okay. Like no complaints at all. The base of the towers look all right. Out of all the 3 bases, I would say these 2 are pretty similar in ranking. They look quite cool. Yeah. I would prefer this. This color combination though is really cool. Like yellow, blue, yellow. That's like one of the best. So for this, I think the good design is that they're not all on the same level. Like there's one that's slightly more elevated, and I do think that's a really good design there, because it might be really triggering if all of them are on the same level. Now we talk about the radar. That's just on the map. It just tells us where the enemies are, even behind the fog of war, you know? So like range is 160, 180, and 200. And of course the energy increases from 15, 30 to 60. In terms of design, they are the same. Ta-dang! You see the number? It's hidden behind. And you can hear the beeping. They're all desync, okay? So eventually they'll coincide. That's why you hear irregularity, because they are all desync. They all have their own pulse rate. See? Do you hear that? Yeah. They coincided somehow. So each of them have their own pulse rate. Even if we were to sync them together, like, you know. You hear that? 3 beeps. Yeah, already desynced. In terms of looks, we just need to evaluate one. Like, this is the 3, and then the 2 is behind, it's hidden behind the tower, it's just covered over there. You can see the little 2 over there, yeah? Okay, so they're all the same design. So the radar dish, and then the extended antenna or something, yeah. Okay, that's about it. And that's our radar tower. Last but not least, we have got the shield generator. Before we even... Oh, it's fine. Okay. It takes 80 energy and 10 plasma for level 1, 40, 10 for level 2, and... Wait, what? Oh. This is a level 3. Silly me. This is a level 3. Oh my gosh. We need a level 1. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, 20, 40... and 80. How is that so strange otherwise, right? Yeah, okay. So, the design is the same though. That's why maybe I got distracted and I didn't see the number somehow. But yeah, so this is this. And then you can see that because it's like active, so therefore it's already generating a shield. But as for the shield though, can we tell? Oh yeah. They will like gain shields. Like you can see that the shields are being generated. So let's enable this thing. And then enable this. And enable this. So I don't know. Does it what? What does it so this what? So this is like 7,000 shield. Hang on. This is like 7,000 shield. This is like 1,000 shield. And it's really slow. This is 7,000. What? How about this? This is 3,000. So, like, how? Maybe because this like kind of like touches the edge. So that's why. And this also 7,000. This is 3,000 because this touches the edge of this. So like it's this provides 1,000 shield, I think. This provides 2,000 shield, and this provides 3,000 or 4,000. 4,000, yes. So total of 7,000. So if you're covered by all of these, you get 7,000. If you are covered by 2 of these, you get 8,000 shield. And 8,000 is a lot of shield. Yeah, and this like generates shield for everything that's in the radius. So it'd be really useful to have some of these to like, you know, improve the hit points of everything. So like these, they get shields too. So your walls become really, really powerful. Yeah. And in terms of design, they're just wheels spinning around and oscillating on its own axis. Yeah. clockwise, no, anti-clockwise rotation on each individual wheel, but clockwise rotation on the main axis. You see a trend there? Yeah. But in terms of, like, the design, I would say I don't think this is a shield generator. Like, why is this a shield generator? Why is the shield generator this design? I don't know. But, I guess it's no harm. Like, it is believable in a sense. So, whatever. It's like just going round and round and round. So, yeah. We still have got these though. The traps. I don't like this one, so I'm gonna quickly talk about it. It does 10 damage on fire damage. It has 10 charges. So after that, I think it may need to reload or something. I don't know. This is like 10 charges as well, and electrical damage, so 25 and 10 damage. Activation time is 3, so like maybe you need to be on the trap for 3 seconds or something. I don't know, but never mind. Whatever. I prefer this design than this, but even this in massive numbers can be quite disturbing. Just don't. I would rather just not use all of them or any of them. But if I want to, it'll be this one. Okay? That's all for the towers. So, we haven't seen them attack though. I need to think about how I should plan for showing the attack. There will also be some bonus footage at the end for towers that were not covered in the original recording done about a year ago. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day. Yeah, these have lights. Some of these have lights too. You can see the little bit of light everywhere. Yeah? Okay. So we'll also see these then, since it's like nighttime. Wait, what?
Base is under attack.
How did they sneak through? Oh yeah, because of the remaining eggs or something. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, you can see some of the lights and everything, so you can see which towers have got lights. Just roughly. Oh, whoa. Wow, that was cool. That was real cool. And then suddenly we have no more supercharged plasma. It's suddenly empty. Oh, wow. Okay. Because this is shut down. So they have one charge. Each fired once. I guess some bonus. These are buildings added by the DLC, and I'll describe them here and then show the damage and the attack separately. So now these are known as the Power Rod Tower, and you can see that there's a little circle, a radius or something, and you can't build another one within the radius, which is why like they're spaced out apart. Looking at the stats first, we have cost to shoot, so it's like 15 minus 15, or rather, yeah, 15, and then this is 15, and that is also 15, so no change in the 3 levels. Then we have damage 300, 600, and I suppose, oh wow, I thought 9, but 1200, even better, like double and then double. Damage over time 10 per second, which is kind of nice, like it actually lights up the floor with electricity or something, and then that will continue to damage the enemies. And here we have 20 per second followed by 40, double and then double again. Splash radius 10, 10 and 10, as well as the range. I think it's the same. Yeah, it's all the same. No, wait, what? There's 180. Okay, so that is 200, so 25 minimum, but 200 on level 3, 180 and 160 otherwise on 2 and 1. Stun chance 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So that is okay. Yeah, we are more looking at the damage and the design. I'll be right back. It's sunset. Looking at the design, it is kind of just like a Power Rod Tower, as in there is a lot of really strong support at the base of the tower, which is the launch pad of the power rod anyway. and then the power rod is the projectile itself. So there's quite a lot of supports, like they're just extended out at an angle, and it doesn't look weird at all. Like they all seem in place to provide support to the power rod that will be launched. And then the foot of the tower, yeah, everything looks okay. We have these wider supports and some of these taller but narrower supports, and then we have this, presumably the entrance to the tower or something, because, well, humans are still going to be smaller. We're just in a mech, and the mech is a lot bigger. Yeah, and then I believe this side to be quite similar. Oh no, it's different. Okay, the rear side of the tower don't really have a lot to talk about. So yeah, you can see the blueprint. It's really nothing much to talk about there. But we move on to the level 2. We can already see that there's significantly more features on the tower. The power rod itself is also more elaborate. We have taller bases to provide even more support for the power rod, which means also lengthier power rod, and the bases now look really nice. This white base with the blue light, really good looking, and then these bronze portions of the metal that just kind of adds to the entire vibe. And then again, the 3 angled supports, kind of like a flower that's blooming. Yeah. And then the bases, the wide base here, the seemingly entrance here, and then some of these extended bases here to provide a semblance of support, all really fitting and really in place. So it looks real good. The details on the power rod too looks really nice. Okay, now let's look at the other sides of the tower. Yeah, nothing too significant to warrant rebuilding it. Okay, it's about nighttime, but let's take a look at this one in the nighttime first, and then we'll have a glance at it in the daytime. So with a lot of lighting elements, of course, it looks really bright at night and very visible at night as well. The details of the tower have been greatly enhanced, so we see even more details along the bases, and these bases become even wider and even more sturdier, even sturdier. Although it didn't seem as if the height of the base had improved by much compared to level 2. The 3 angled rods or 3 angled supports did extend a little bit though. Like in tandem with the power rod that's in the center, it kind of still looks really believable that it would provide the necessary support, and it has just extended out or angled out in preparation for the launching of the power rod. Now let's take a look at this in the daytime. The blue, white, and bronze pattern over here, it remains, and it still looks really good in this setup. The rod itself has even more details here, so like little sections on the rod that kind of helps propel the rod, and there's a lot of light elements as well. There are even light elements on these angled supports here too, which is really nice additions. And these angled rods do have great detail all along. As compared to here, these angles, hey, they do have light as well. Of course, these would have then. Yeah, these have lights on the angled supports too. So generally, all 3 designs of the power rods look really modern. Modern, no, futuristic and impressive. So good job. Next, let's switch it on first. Yeah, this is the HCM tower. We'll just leave one on for now. And for HCM tower, what is HCM? Something missile. But regardless though, I think we should be able to find out more Yeah, a silo housing a massive rocket launched vertically and aimed at distant targets. Once the rocket reaches destination, releases multiple explosive devices that cover a large area. Gas supply required. So let's look at the stats first. We have the cost to shoot at 18, and then this is 18 and that's 18 as well. So level 2 and 3 same. Damage 400, 800, and 160. Whoa, nice. So double. Splash damage I think would be the same. Yeah, because the same projectile, just maybe more projectiles. However, projectiles from each burst would be... Hey, what? I thought that would be different, but it's the same. And same for projectiles per shot as well. Tower range though, max 160, this is 180, and this is 200. Minimum 25 each. Quite interesting, wouldn't you think? Like, the only real difference is just the range and the damage? Huh. Okay, I thought that at least something would be different given that the number of projectiles that they kind of drop would increase per level of the tower, but surprisingly, no. As for consumption of the flammable gas though, it's the same across. HP of the tower just increases by 500 each level. So these do trigger trypophobia, so yeah, I don't really like addressing these, but I guess, you know, it might look a little bit better in the daytime than the nighttime because the cluster bombs on the main missile just gets even more pronounced. So for level 1 it is off, so let's switch it on again. Yeah, you can see the little light on the cluster bombs on this main missile. So you can see that it's just a boiling pot kind of lid, which is like launch pad, but in this case compared to the power rod, this is an underground launch pad, and then the lid is opened, the main missile is raised from the bottom or the underground launch and then brought to the surface and peeking out ready to be launched at the enemies. Yeah, it just looks like a boiler pot to boil soup or something. All of these bases, they don't look as impressive as the power rod. Generally, I don't seem to find anything that's like particularly praiseworthy of this tower's design in terms of its launch pad or anything. The missile itself is just a cluster of bombs stuck onto a missile. Same for level 2. You can see here, yeah, it's just more, and then it's the same boiler pot base or soup pot base with a little bit more details in terms of lighting and everything, and the base or the base plate itself has a little bit more details. All the lines and the squares just add a little bit of detail, but nothing really impressive about this. It's just there because it kind of provides a little bit of realism in how this would appear stable. So it does appear stable. It has a really wide circle to the soup pot thing with a lid. I like that the lid is also lit though. That's something nice, but otherwise it's just yeah, a launch base for a cluster bomb missile. Same for level 3, but this time round the bombs even more, and the bombs actually look kind of nicer because the lit portions are a lot bigger on the cluster bombs, and even the missile itself looks more detailed. So it still triggers trypophobia, but as compared to the previous ones, these are a little milder, I would think. And then the base of the tower looks pretty much the same from before, like you can see here. And then of course, to link them up, we need these pipes here to provide flammable gas. So it is sort of part of the structure, yet not. So you can see the little entrance of the pipe here to the tower has lighting as well, and I like that too. And then the details on the lid is now even more detailed. The lights have got segmentation here, and then little dots of lights here and there, and then another bit of light here and there, but once again, it's a soup pot with a lid. Nothing really impressive. These are shotgun towers. I believe they were added by the DLC as well. Let's look at the stats first. Cost to fire 10 10 10, all the same. I think it's medium caliber missiles or bullets, and then damage is 30 60 and 120 double. Rate of fire remains the same, 222 per second each, and then projectiles 10 10 10. Even the range 0 to 25, so the only difference, the damage. Oh wait, the energy upkeep 5 10 and 15. Okay, I mean that is very little. It's nothing to be particularly worried about. So as for the tower themselves, you can see that there's a little bit of a detail over here that it's hard to see from this side. You can still see, but it's not as well as this one. And then whether you face the base, I mean the tower northwards or to the west, it looks the same for the base. These details are nice, and then there's a little bit of detail on the top and 2 barrels here. So it's a shotgun tower though, so 2 barrels, yeah, kind of would believe it, because you know shotguns are 2 barrels, right? I think. Maybe some are 1, I don't know, but it does look believable and it does look realistic. I would think though, it doesn't seem to pack as much of a punch as compared to the level 3. But let's look at level 2 first. The little 2 half circles on the top kind of give it a little bit more identity. And then this little light on the top really starts to bring it alive. And then the side here, we have 3 instead of 2. It's still okay, The lights at the base, also not too bad. Now there's 2 dots instead of a little dot here. And then otherwise, they look pretty much the same. So the bases are quite the same, but the 2 barrels look a little bigger now. But we look at level 3. Wow, this is impressive now. This really looks like it would pack a punch. And then these lights at the top and at the back, they really give it some identity there. And then now we have 4 red thingy here, and the base also looks more impressive with even more lighting. I would think the level 2's base look a little more defended as compared to the level 3, but it's nothing to really be very squirmish about or be overly concerned about. It just looks a little less defended, but I would think that the curved base of the tower provides even more defense in terms of having projectiles bounce off a curved surface than a flat surface, right? That kind of serves the purpose. On top of that, the lighting now less bright compared to level 2. Quite interesting. Even the base lighting has decreased in size, but now there's this little knob at the back of the shotgun tower, and this has light, and I just realized that same for this one. The previous one, the level 1 has nothing, but level 2 has little one, and level 3 has a rather pronounced lighting on the rear here, and it even looks like a dinosaur head, if anything. Yeah, you can see here, a tortoise head or a dinosaur head. Regardless, the shotgun barrels though, wow, these look real impressive here now. They look like they've seen combat, worn down, or whatever that is. Yeah, even the details at the top of the tower now look... Alright, I think that's it for all the added DLCs and everything. So that concludes this bonus here.